Welcome everyone. Hail to my fellow Selvan citizens. I am the prophet of Pagulane. Come, join me by the fire. Sit a while and hear a thrilling and dramatic tale like no other. Walk the path with me amongst the gods of old in each chapter of Book 1, Fall of Immortals. Chapter 18, The King's Trial. Each trial you faced, each time you had shed blood or sweat, felt your muscles crack under the strain of your training. It was to prepare you for the beginning of your new purpose. Zaldin replied. Continuing, he said, to commemorate this moment, I have commissioned unique uniforms and weapons for each of you, tailored for your new rules. Xanatos bestowed the champion trio with new clothing, weapons, and armor to replace their Kawakami clan robes. The vice-regent patterned the designs after his own garbs and armor. Dark purple-colored gi trousers, hooded vests instead of masks, steel manacles for their left arms, and sashes to distinguish them from one another. Melian's uniform was unique, made to be seductive as well as stealthy. The sashes were all stitched together with a fine thread, though differing in color. Melian's sash had a silver skull woven into a gray base. Terai's sash base had light blue threading with instead silver clouds stitched in. And lastly, Warden's embroidered sash was orange, though unlike the others, it bore the markings of Shiva's gold moon. Discerning himself from the others as the superior combatant earned Waldron further recognition. The steel in their armor and weapons were enhanced with Xanatos' alchemy, enabling the new legionnaires to slay any foe, immortal or otherwise. You are no longer soldiers of Selva. You will be the foundation for a new order. From this day forward, you will be known as the Zenobi Sentinels, and I will be your master. Your first assignment will be as King Lobi's advance guard. You will protect him, and you will obey him. However, never forget, you may serve the king, but your loyalties belong to no nation, no throne. Your loyalty belongs to your master. I am your god now. Continue to serve me well, and I will make you masters of death and destruction. Zaldin concluded his speech with passion. The three sentinels raised their heads as his glare burned their new reality into their eyes. Gesturing with his hand, Zaldin beckoned the Shinobi sentinels to stand. Now rise with my confidence and pride. Report to court this afternoon so that I may present you to the king. He still has to accept my offer, and he is not overly fond of me at this time. Speak to no one outside of the League. Dismissed. The sentinels acknowledged with a bow and a salute across their chest. They then gathered their uniforms and weapons, submitting to their master's command. The sun moved time forward in the sky until the sundial marked mid-afternoon. Fully dressed and armed, the Zenobi stood behind Zaldin. Before we convene, are there any further matters to bring before the court? Said Darwin, leaving the floor open for final requests. Your Majesty, I would like to take this opportunity to present you with a gift, if you would allow it. The Vice-Regent announced as he stepped out to address the room. King Lovi paused for a moment before deciding. He was not receptive to Zaldin's offer, though hesitantly granted the Vice-Regent's presentation. Wise King, I give to you the reason for my long absences. These three warriors. The sentinels knelt before the steps of the throne. What need do I have for 3 more mercenaries? King Lovi asked indifferently. These are not mercenaries or soldiers, wise king. They are sentinels, uniquely trained and equipped to challenge any foe under nearly any circumstances. I offer them to you to serve as your advance guard. They will protect you from any threat near and far from the shadows, Zalda replied. Vice Regent, are you implying that the Order of Selvan Knights, which you founded, is not adequate enough to protect the royal family? Asked Darwin. Not in the slightest, Lord Darwin. However, we can conduct a test of abilities for any who may doubt the skills of these Zenobi. The Knights of Selva are the best of the Imperial forces, though these sentinels are not in order in the infantry. Zaldin answered. Your gift is gracious, Vice Regent. However, urgent banging on the throne room doors interrupted King Lovi's rejection. Sire, we bring urgent news from Dalston that the court must hear. The messenger cried out. Allow him in, beckoned the White Lion. The throne room doors flung open as the messenger presented the scroll on bended knee. Your Majesty, a hawk flew in with a message marked urgent and bearing the seal of Dalston. Darwin collected the scroll and broke the seal. My king and noblemen of the court, the message states the following. Noble court of Selva, I must petition your aid with great urgency. Princess Elaine has seemingly disappeared. I had my men search every level of the palace and every home in the city. To maintain compliance, I ordered the administration to inform the citizens that we are searching for a dangerous criminal. Though this ruse will not last for long, as the princess is a token of Selva's control over the territory. I would continue to persevere and will continue the search. However, since time is of the essence, I would ask for reinforcement in her recovery so that we can maintain the city's stability. Your loyal servant, Baron Drax Falorum. The room absorbed the consequential message, creating a temporary moment of silence. Zaldin slowly smiled, recognizing the opportunity. The Empire is yet on unstable ground, and much is at risk of being lost. He then looked up at the king smugly. Both knew who the crown would inevitably have to call on to remedy this blunder. Vice Regent, you mentioned a test to prove the worth of your sentinels. I think this is the perfect opportunity, said King Lovi. I would agree. In fact, if you would indulge me, command your advance guard, Your Majesty. They will not fail Selva, Zaldin replied. King Lovi was aware of what Zaldin was capable of, though he did not expect the war marshal to be such a skilled opponent in politics. On one side, to give the command was to accept Zaldin's offer, and on the other, refusing would mean abandoning Dalston to fall into rebellion. Sentinels, Lovi roared. You will locate the princess, uncover how she escaped, and whoever is responsible. Once this has been completed, I command you to bring the princess to me along with the head of the treasonous wretch who aided her escape, commanded Lovi. The Zenobi responded with a fisted salute across their chest. We obey, sire. They acknowledged together, disappearing within the shadows of the room, cast by the falling afternoon sun. Later that day, a herd of wild horses became stirred with fear by what their nostrils detected in the wind. At full gallop, the herd of mustangs fled from the impending danger approaching from the east. They trotted across the fields and through the patches of forest between Selva and Dalston, with the last light of the evening illuminating their path forward and the wind in their tails. 3 shadowy figures sped past the herd. The Zenobi sentinels overtook the alpha mare with ease, leaving the wild horses in the distance. By the time the Zenobia scaled the city walls, the beauty of the evening dusk was complemented by the appearing stars, which glistened over the kingdom of Dalston. Flowing through the city like a bad omen, the sentinels convened on the roof of the palace in order to solidify their plan of action. "This is the palace where she would have last been spotted," said Tarai, perched on the roof's edge like a stone ornament. "You have laid eyes on her before, have you not? Can you describe what she looks like?" asked Milian. "It would be easy to sift through the noblemen in the halls of the palace, smashing skulls until we get our answers," stated Waldron. "True, Waldron, but we wouldn't be here if it was easy. It has been more than some time since I had last seen her, though it does not matter once I find her scent," Tarai replied. Crawling along the walls of the palace, the sentinels found the princess's bedchamber and climbed in through the chamber window. "Her scent should be the only one in her bedding. Hand me her sheets." Tarai sniffed the princess's bedding like a hound dog on the hunt. "For the constraints of time, it may be best for us to disperse. Leave identifying the culprit to me while you two trail her scent. Once I have the name of our target, I will follow, and we can complete our mission," suggested Milian. "Then I can get to the really fun part," added Waldron. "Then we are in agreement. Her scent seems to point south. Catch up to us once you have discerned the condemned," Tarai added. He and Waldron then leaped out of the chamber window, pursuing the fragrance of perfume, hair, and inauspiciously, blood. Within the confines of the palace, guard patrols were oblivious to Milian's movements through its halls. A full bladder disturbed Baron Drax from his slumber as he wobbled to his chamber pot. With his eyes closed and a relieving sigh, he turned back around once the last drop hit the pot. Then his adrenaline stiffened him and a few extra drops landed on his feet once he saw Milian laying across his bed, slowly licking her fangs. Shogun of the Heavens Book 1 is available on Amazon and Amazon Kindle or for order at your local Barnes & Noble's bookstore. The Amazon link to purchase the book is in the description of the video. Behold, as we all dive into the world of myths and fiction. Book 2, The Throne Crusher, is still set to be released on December 9th, 2024. This installment changes the tempo of the story, allowing us to go deeper into popular role characters who will now step to the forefront of this epic tale. On this channel, we will be providing you a series of samples read from the Shogun of the Heavens book series and complemented by visuals from the story as envisioned by the author. Please like and share the video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. Then, while you're at it, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where you can compare our competing galleries of artworks brought to life from the story. Thank you.